Hey everyone, Coach here again. Episode 2? I don't know. I'm not a YouTuber, just a guy. But I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about my opinions on faking it till you make it. And it's something that I've heard throughout my professional career in several different venues in retail, in higher education and administration, and in teaching, and even in coaching, athletics. And I have opinions on it based on my experiences, based on what I've seen, the end results of that approach and that technique and that mindset. And I have concerns. I have concerns about. I in particular have concerns about adults teaching that concept to youth, and I'll try to explain why. The simple reason that I have an issue with it is that it teaches a reality that isn't very accurate. My reality that I've experienced and I've seen play out over and over again is that sometimes you don't make it. And so to have a mindset and an approach, and especially to teach youth that you can just fake it until you make it, and it implies that you're going to make it. And whether or not you grasp a concept or understand a certain thing, an idea, is not as important. And I think that's flawed. The alternative, in my opinion, would be, instead of teaching youth to fake it till you make it in certain scenarios, is to acknowledge the fact that you don't understand something, that you don't get it, that you're not great at something, and then do what you need to do to learn that thing and to master that concept. Because, again, I think that if you went through your life just not knowing something with this mindset of, oh, it's okay, I'll just pretend that I do understand it. Well, what happens when you don't figure it out? Or what happens when you're competing for a position, and whether it's athletically or a professional position, and you're now competing against people who have not faked it? They learned it, and they've learned it a long time ago when they first realized they didn't understand it, and they figured it out before you did. So now they have more experience doing that thing than you have, because you were just pretending that you understood with the hopes of figuring it out. So again, it's specific to youth in that I just think it's a flawed approach to life, to just have this understanding that it's okay if I don't get everything. Clearly, there's going to be situations that present themselves to you as a youth or to us as adults that we don't understand. Happens to me seemingly on a daily basis, where I'm encountering something that is new for me. And I think that if you are not experiencing that, then there may be another problem. Challenging yourself and being pushed and being out of comfort zones is a good thing. Being uncomfortable can be a very good thing. But when you're presented with those things, instead of shying away from it or pretending that you are just going to figure it out later, hopefully, instead acknowledge that you don't understand it and get some people around you that you trust, because that's often the biggest hurdle, is that when we don't understand something, or we don't feel comfortable with something, or it's new, we don't want to ask for help because there's a pride barrier. We don't want to be judged for being ignorant, or we don't want to be judged for not knowing or being as good at this thing as other people. So it becomes very important then, as a domino effect, to have people around you that you can count on, trust, that you feel safe with, to say, hey, can you help me with this? Teach me about this thing. And then continue to fill your toolbox. I just think that's important. So every time I hear an adult tell a kid, an athlete, a player, a student, just fake it till you make it, I kind of cringe a little bit, and I think to myself, I wish that they would instead tell the kid, tell the youth, hey, if you don't understand it, let me teach you. And the reality is, sometimes you don't make it. The reality is even further, sometimes you do know it, you don't even fake it, you still don't make it. So the reality of it is that a lot of times our best isn't good enough, and that's a reality that we all have to be okay with. But that's just my 2 cents. Faking it till you make it may not be the best approach. In particular, speaking to the youth out there, don't be afraid to learn. Don't have to fake it always. Have a good weekend, guys.